think our smell is the most powerful sense we have. No.
I have no idea. I mean, I would argue it to say see.
Well, I'm saying like you can remember feelings even with smells. I don't know. I looked
I
into this before. I think where it described smell being like one of the most potent senses we have.
that writer's on some bullshit. Probably had like a blind sister or something.
What?
That writer's on some bullshit. Probably had like a blind sister, so his sister couldn't see, so he felt some type of way.
I don't know. Maybe we could look it up right now.
It's still called bullshit. You can't call one sense more important than the other. Your sense of fucking touch is more important than your sense of smell. You can't say that, just like you can't say vice versa.
No.
Like, I'm sure you could smell something that's absolutely disgusting, but let's take the smell away and you see something that absolutely fucks up your mind for the rest of your life. I don't think you could smell something that's going to fuck up your mind for the rest of your life.
Well, you never smelled your own fart.
I have, actually. I've smelled even like, what's the most disgusting thing you've ever smelled?
Mm, Probably like when something is dead, like a dead squirrel or like
Right.
a possum or something.
Yeah.
That's a disgusting smell. Or
Yeah, I
like
smelled a
rotten
dead body
fish.
before. Yeah, that's nasty.
Mm. You smelled a dead body before?
Yeah, it's absolutely, it's the worst smell I've ever. It's like a squirrel times 100. It's like 100 fucking
Yeah.
squirrels. Ugh, ugh. Like if I know that smell, so it's like that was the worst smell ever. Sure, it's
So yeah,
disgusting.
imagine smelling that while playing Call of Duty.
Yeah, but you know that smell doesn't just happen when. I mean, it
Like you
could, like
go
if you're
into
walking
a Yeah, exactly. Like you go to a specific spot that
and
smells
you
like
see like
that,
an
and
old
then
dead
like
body.
yeah, and then you actually smell the dead body, and then you walk away because you want to get rid of the smell. You know?
Yeah, yeah, but still, smell it isn't as important as vision, I think. What would you rather lose? What sense would you rather lose?
Um,
There are five senses, right? Smell, taste, hear, see, and feel.
I think sight is the worst, the one I would not want to lose.
I agree, but what about fuck? Yeah. What about feel though?
Feel, feel what?
Yeah, like you can't feel anything.
Like no emotion.
No, like you can't like you see how I'm touching my
Oh
hand and I
right.
feel that? Like you can't feel that.
Yeah, you could be in pain and you wouldn't even know.
Yeah.
Your arm could be cut off and you're like completely fine. But then like you realize
Sounds like
that
a
you got an
superpower.
infection.
Oh yeah, see that sounds like a superpower until you talk about sex and then you're like, yo, you can't feel sex for the rest of your life.
Look, right here. Let me read you something I found on Google. Vision is often thought of it as the strongest of the senses. That's because humans tend to rely more on sight rather than hearing or smell. Light on the visible spectrum is detected by your eyes. Wait, what am I reading? Look, they're saying smell is in fact the strongest human sense, and contrary to popular belief, may just as may be just as powerful as the snout, sniffers in dogs and rodents to certain degrees. I don't know what it's saying, but it just said that smell is in fact the strongest human sense.
It's not though.
Oh, Google said it.
Bro, like think about it. Let's think about this right now. Smell isn't like it could, but not to the extent that seeing or hearing would be able to save your life. Like smell could save your life if you smell fire. All right, but seeing
Well, then
fire.
you're arguing something else. I think you're saying more important, I guess.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying.
I'm talking about like the most, like the strongest sense that we have. Like we can imagine like certain moments in time depending on a certain fragrance.
But how do you measure that? How do you measure what's the most important sense that we have?
I don't know how these people measure it or how they come to that conclusion. I just know that this is what I've heard before, and that's what it says on the internet. How
Yeah, but I don't think there's a way of measuring that. So I think it just goes back to what I was asking you. What sense would you never want to lose? And you said your sight,
right?
which I would agree, which would be my sight. And what's the second sense that you would never want to lose?
Probably hearing.
Exactly. What's your third?
Probably taste.
You see how smell isn't even in the top three? Smell's going to be the last.
I know that. I know it. That's based on my preference.
Fuck that. You don't know that. Listen to me argue with you.
I'm just saying that smelling is the strongest sense, like in our body. Like we remember it the most with smell. Even dogs, like
Again, I disagree. That whoever wrote that is on some bullshit and it's on some biased stuff right there. Like I said,
why do dogs like? How come their strongest sense is smell? Because it's important. Like they have to smell certain things to be a dog.
I mean, sure, 100%. I'm not arguing that it's not one of their strongest, but I also hear that a dog's hearing is really fucking strong.
Yeah, that and the smell. So those two are very important senses for them.
Yeah, but it's just different animals.
No, I get it, but I'm just saying like that we share that characteristics with animals. We share the fact that we can smell really good. Well, at least some of us. And hearing as well. I think hearing is another thing. Like music, when we listen to music, that shit brings us back to a certain moment as well.
But that's different. Yeah, but same thing with seeing. You could see something that that triggers something and brings you back to a moment. I think, listen, don't huff and puff and argue with me, all right?
What?
There's different animals that can do different things. Like fucking birds have crazy eyes that they can see crazy shit, you know?
Right.
So,
I'm just saying, like, based on the human body, though, I think, like, this is what Google told me, is that smell is the strongest. So,
God,
I mean, if
you
you want to argue with that...
You sound like a fucking Karen that takes Google as God. Like, this is what I Googled and this is what I found. So this is what it is.
If you want to argue with that, so be it.
You want to argue with Google? It's on fucking Google. Google can't be wrong. Google fucking knows everything.
You don't think Google knows everything?
No, I don't think Google knows everything. I think there's a lot of biased shit out there. Google, first off, Google doesn't give you the answer. Google fucking gives you an article to read.